Good evening, everyone. Good evening, aspirants. Welcome to the webinar on defining your career path with World Class MBA Degree. Today in the panel, we have Dr. Pankaj Trivedi, Dr. Pramod Shetty, and Dr. Prema Basargekar with us. I will take this time to first introduce our panelists, and then I'll call them up one by one to share their thoughts on the topic of the webinar. All right. So, Professor Pankaj Trivedi is currently the Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Business Studies with Somaiya University, Mumbai. He is the chairperson of the Board of Studies of Finance and the program coordinator of the MBA program at Somaiya Institute of Management. He holds a PhD with 2 master's degrees in banking and economics from the University of Mumbai. He is also an associate of the Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. He has work experience of 20 years in industry and 16 years of experience as a full-time faculty teaching at postgraduate level. He is a recognized PhD guide by Somaiya University, University of Mumbai, and SNDT University. He has, under his name, 8 PhD and 3 MPhil scholars. He has also written and presented more than 50 research papers at various national and international conferences. Dr. Pankaj Trivedi was also awarded the Best Teacher of Finance award by Higher Education Forum jointly with the Bombay Stock Exchange. He is a regular visiting faculty at DHBW University, Stuttgart, Germany. Welcome, sir. We have with us Dr. Pramod Shetty. Dr. Pramod Shetty is currently Professor and Head of Operations and Supply Chain Management at Somaiya Institute of Management. He is an industrial and production engineer with diploma from JBIMS, followed by postgraduate and doctorate from the National Institute of Industrial Engineering, NITI, Mumbai. He has conducted various training programs in operations management, supply chain management, and ERP for industries spanning different verticals. He has done consultancy and training assignments in the areas of operations and supply chain management, such as manpower planning, production norms, and productivity improvement for various clients. To name a few of them, Microsoft, Mahindra and Mahindra, BARC, HPCL, Konkan Railway, and even the Indian Navy. He has published articles in Sage, InderScience, and contributed to cases and book on operations management by Pearson. He is a PhD guide for several universities. He is also on the Board of Studies and acts as an academic advisor for several colleges and universities. We're glad to have you, sir. Dr. Prema Basargekar. She is currently working as a professor in the area of economics and entrepreneurship at Somaiya Institute of Management. She is a program coordinator of MBA Healthcare Management and has more than 28 years of experience in the field of research and teaching. She has done a PhD from BIT Pilani in the area of impact assessment of microfinance programs on the empowerment of women. Dr. Prema has also completed Entrepreneurship Educators course from Stanford Technology Ventures Program, Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, and National Entrepreneurship Network. MBA Healthcare Management Program was launched in July 2018 with the view to build managerial competencies of budding managers in the growing healthcare sector in India. Dr. Prema's research and experience in teaching economics, entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship, and welfare organizations helps her take this program and give it a holistic view. It has been her endeavor to strengthen the program by making it industry relevant by covering breadth and depth of the subjects. Her areas of research interest are public healthcare, healthcare policies, entrepreneurship, microfinance, social entrepreneurship, and impact assessment of social programs. She teaches fundamentals of health economics, macroeconomic aspects of healthcare, managerial economics, macroeconomics, and entrepreneurship management. Welcome, ma'am. I will now call upon Dr. Trivedi to share his views on today's topic. Sir, I request you to unmute yourself. I think you're muted.
Yeah, good evening to all of you and welcome to this MBA webinar. And all of you know, nowadays in industry, business, and in all field, the requirement of MBA is day by day increasing because industry need people who are specially trained, and that's the reason there is a need for MBA. So MBA education, many of you must be knowing, is actually not only related to discipline of your choice, but it will give you sort of a holistic development. No doubt, whatever specialization that you opt for, you will get good domain knowledge. But along with that, it will also give you an opportunity to develop you holistically. How holistical development? Let me share with you that no doubt you will certainly get the intellectual development you will be able to do because you will get more and more knowledge relating to your specialization, the subject that you study. But over and above that, it will also help you to develop mentally. And this mental development is because the MBA study is such where simply listening to the faculty in the classroom or reading the textbook is not enough. You have to think. As you think more, you will be able to understand the courses that you study, the discipline that you study better. And this is how it will help you to develop mentally. Not only that, when you talk about holistic development, we should also talk about your social development, physical development, emotional development, and all this helps, to make you fit to work in the industry. Now, this is a study, MBA is a study, probably some of you may be knowing, some of you may not be knowing, is such where these kind of development opportunities you get. See, for example, just now I was referring to social development. So how come social development take place? Because the study is such which will make you more and more aware about the society problem, about the nation, about the global issue, international issue. So this will help you to develop socially. And emotionally and physical development is also possible here because all good B school, they have all the facilities for your physical development also. You must be getting the idea that I am referring to the sports facility. So ample sports facilities are available nowadays in almost all or at least some good B school, including Somaiya, where you will have an opportunity to develop yourself physically also. But of course, as far as the physical and emotional development is concerned, to a large extent, it depends upon you. So that is one aspect I wanted to tell you. And one more aspect, let me tell you that the way I have started that nowadays MBAs are in demand in almost every industry, every business and all that. Why this is so? Because when you complete this study, when you complete this 2 year, you are not only getting MBA degree, but along with that, many other things also you will learn. Say, for example, how to take decision, how to solve the problem, how to work in constraint, your communication skill, your analytical skill. All these skill you will learn and it will develop, it will sharpen when you study MBA. Because the curriculum is designed in such a way, irrespective of specialization, that all these things will come. And this will make you industry ready. So that is what I wanted to say in my opening remark. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your viewpoints. Truly, today MBA is so holistic that it's not just a subject-specific training. It develops you all round, and that is what we are looking forward to. Now, can I have Dr. Pramod Shetty, please, to share your point of view?
Yeah, good evening. Happy to be here. I think normally, there are a lot of aspirants here for MBA and all. MBA generally doesn't mean just giving out of the box solutions. It also means that that solution should be implementable. Because we have had experience here where, people just throw out solutions. So how do you get to a basic level where you can give real practicable solutions to people? So that comes with experience and immersing yourself with work. If you do not practically do things, your summer internship, your thesis or we call as a master thesis, which we have at a place and all, then the learning is not there. So if you want real learning, then you have to learn to be very immersive. And this is what comes. As far as the other things are concerned, people here at our institute, we have a fantastic infrastructure and other things which are there. So we also have an incubation center, we have a sports academy. So this sort of helps you develop a lot of leadership and other skills which are there. And let's say there is an opportunity which is there, but you should be willing to take that. So that's the basic bottom line. Yeah, I think that's it. Anything else you want to cover, Suvechha?
I think we'll first hear ma'am out, and then we'll again, have a discussion amongst us.
Okay.
We'll revisit with questions. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening all. Very happy to be here and share my views. As both of my colleagues mentioned very clearly, that MBA is a holistic program which builds your personality complete manner. And the hallmark of any good MBA program is to see that your soft skills as well as your hard skills are equally well groomed. And fortunately at Somaiya, we have ample of opportunities. So I'm just going to briefly inform you about what kind of opportunities you might have if you are in our campus. First of all, we have a very good connection with international universities, very, very reputed international universities. And you have an opportunity to do immersion programs, or you can also do one trimester with these universities, and your credits will get transferred to our university. So that will help you build your global mindset, which is very, very important skill if you really want to become an effective and capable manager. Secondly, we have many other opportunities. For example, some of you might be inclined towards more social inclusion or the programs which are able to, let's say, help underprivileged class. So we have Ankur Experiential Learning Initiative Program, where our MBA program, our MBA candidates or students help groom, mentor children from less privileged background in building their English communication skill and helping them with other extracurricular activities and their school curriculum. So that is a wonderful opportunity for our MBA students, as well as that is a very good opportunity for children who are from underprivileged class. Similarly, we have other opportunities. Let's say, for example, some of you might be inclined more towards research. So we have more than 6-7 very good international conferences, again in collaboration with very, very reputed international organizations, academic institutes, where students present their papers. Sometimes they work along with the faculty and present their new research, or sometimes they also independently present their research. So that helps them build up their data analytical skills and problem solving skills as well as presentation skills. Similarly, we also have a consultancy committee. So this consultancy committee is constantly working in close association with the corporates. So corporates offer their problems which are converted into live projects and concurrent projects. So many times our students work very, very closely on number of concurrent projects where they are able to see how to apply the management concepts and tools which they are learning in the class, how to implement their ideas on the ground, and what are the hurdles, what are the challenges, and how the corporates are moving in the constraint framework. So that is also a wonderful opportunity. Similarly, as Professor Pramod Shetty mentioned, we have an incubator in our Somaiya campus, which is called as Riddle. So one of the objective of Riddle is to nurture the startup companies right from the beginning, right from the business idea. So to nurture them, develop their prototype, or helping develop their prototype, then provide them mentoring support, or build their business model in a robust manner, or even providing them access to the investors for the early startup investment round. Our students work very closely with these startup companies. So some of you might be having some dream of starting your own venture. You might be having a good business idea. So that might be a very good idea to work closely with the startup companies and really understand the entrepreneurial ecosystem in our country. What are the policies, what are the incentives, what are the constraints, and how the startup companies are making their dent in our economy. Again, as Dr. Trivedi mentioned, we have a sports academy. So we also look into how you can use that to build your leadership skill, to build your strategic thinking, correct, and to develop your physical fitness. So we have ample opportunities in our campus which will help you develop your critical thinking abilities, problem solving abilities, leadership abilities, strategic thinking abilities, then innovation and creative thinking. So how do you make use of this along with your academics is one of the major challenge. So right from the beginning, if you are clear in what direction you want to groom your career and select the right kind of extracurricular activities, then I think it will help you build your profile in a very, very robust manner, and it will make you industry ready right from the day you complete your MBA program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for highlighting the differentiators of our program. So I think aspirants, what is important is, first of all, understanding that we need the overall development, like Professor Trivedi highlighted, for making a successful career. And going on to what Professor Shetty said, that it is not just important today to come up with the solutions, but you need to know how to apply them. You also need to know now what to do with the solution, right? And Prema ma'am's already highlighted the differentiators, which will also help you further to make a successful career out of this MBA degree. We also know that one of the most important things in this entire thing is for you all to understand the admission process specific to KJ Somaiya Institute of Management. So I will quickly run you all through that particular process. And after that, we'll open the forum for some questions and answers to all the panelists. All right. So the basic eligibility criteria, graduates in any discipline, that is our basic requirement. We are not very specific about the graduate degree, as in the discipline of your degree. However, the basic requirement is obviously of an aggregate 50% marks from any UGC approved college and recognized university. And the course is also open to freshers. We're not stressing over the experience that a student has. Though, if you go to our website, you'll get the details of how the grading for the selection process happens. Now, the entrances that we are accepting for admissions 2023 is CAT 2022, XAT 2023, NMAT. Multiple attempts are allowed by NMAT. However, we will only be considering the scores of your first attempt at NMAT 2020. CMAT 2023 or GMAT. GMAT, since these scores are valid for 3 years, we are also accepting scores that are valid from 1st January 2020 to 18th January 2023. That's when the forms close. What is our admission process? Online application and document verification. After the document verification, there would be a short list of students that would be created for the CAPI process that will be announced, and you will be invited for the CAPI process. After the CAPI process, the result will be declared. A student has to go through both the CA as well as the PI process. It's not like an elimination process. You have to go through both the rounds for our admission process. Result declared, and then the final admission, which is given based on the results declared. Important thing to remember that for MBA sports management and healthcare management, there is also a profile-based shortlisting that is done. So you will be expected to submit your statement of purpose along with your candidate profile forms if you choose MBA SM or MBA healthcare management as one of your options. All right, so this is the weightage that has been given. Like I said, that work experience is not an eligibility criteria because as in freshers are given admission to. However, we do have a grading for work experience as well. So the qualifying exam is obviously given the highest preference. That's the entrance exam that you all would have appeared for. And then we have the PI, the personal interview, then the case analysis, your personal achievements, your accolades and awards that you've got over your younger years of education, any other past academic record. However, 1 mark each will be given if your bachelor's and postgraduate degree institute is listed in NIRF 2022 rank. And work experience is given importance. In the case of MBA SM and HCM, since it's a profile-based shortlisting, we have also given some weightage to your statement of. All right, I think this is something that the aspirants would mostly be interested to know. The last date of submitting your application form is 18 January. And the candidates who would be shortlisted, that list would be out on 1st February. You will have to uploading of your documents and the slot preferences for case analysis and personal interview. Our process is online this year as well. So the slots that you would like to select for your case analysis process as well as your PI process, that slot you are free to choose. You are given an option of deciding which dates and what would you prefer. And the process starts on 21st February. It is on till 12th March. So ideally, when you're choosing a slot, you have a preference of which date between 21st February to 12th March is the preference that you'll be given. So once all these rounds are done and the selection has been finalized, the offer letters will first be floated out on April 1st, 2023. Inauguration of the program tentatively scheduled for the 17th of June. It will be and it will be followed by a 1-week induction program, which is further followed by a 1 week of term 0 before your trimester 1 commences on 3rd July. A general idea of the fee structure that has been given, all right, as you all can already see. This above fee, it excludes the caution money deposit of 10,000 in the first year and the alumni fee of 2,500 in the final year. That's it. Thank you for sitting with us through this admission process. We will now open the forum for questions and answers. So I think I'm already receiving some questions. So I'll start directing them one by one. Okay. Dr. Shetty, there is a question over here which has been asked. Does KJ Somaiya have a curriculum with a practical approach?
Sorry, come again.
Does KJ Somaiya have a curriculum with a practical approach?
Yes, because the thing is that each of the subjects which are there, the subject discipline, we have a board of studies which is not only takes the feedback from students, it also takes the feedback from industry professionals who are there on the board. So we keep taking suggestions from them, adding subjects, sometimes dropping older subjects and all. It's a very ongoing process which happens at least twice a year. That's what. So, you know, most of the posts which are there are always jump into the industry with your feet learning. So that sort of course content is there.
Adding to that, may I add? So
Yes, ma'am.
So adding to that, we always invite industry person in the classroom to give an industry perspective of any topic which we are dealing in the classroom, concepts and all that. So either it is economics, if I am covering macroeconomics, I will call somebody from RBI to have their perspective on the latest current budget. Correct. So similarly, we also have, as I mentioned, that many subjects are very, very practical, experiential, relevant. And we take our students for industry visits to see how the industries are working and how the management concepts are applied actually in reality on ground.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Professor Trivedi, we have a question. So the question is techno-managerial managers the future? Are we looking at mostly the combination of technology and managers in future? It's no more a singulated. That's the question that has been.
Yeah, that is very true, because all of us knows that nowadays technology has taken over almost all field. If you talk about particularly finance field, it is completely taken over by the technology. Today, you cannot imagine that institution like bank or mutual fund or for that matter NBFC or any financial institution can work without technology. Fintech is everywhere. Not only that, even the recruitment which is done by the different companies and recruiters in the fintech area, technology and management combined area is maximum. And now RBI has also launched the digital currency. So everywhere technology is there, be it finance, be it marketing, or any other discipline. So certainly it is rightly understood. Management and technology goes hand in hand. That's right.
Thank you, sir. We'll go ahead to the next question. Dr. Prema, there is a question that, especially for a course like healthcare management, if their background is not from healthcare, let's say they are from core engineering or maybe from commerce, is this course still for a person who is coming from a different background, then maybe not even core sciences? So if they're from a technology background, how can they fit into this?
Yeah, absolutely right. So though we have a profile-based admission, that doesn't mean that we do not take the students from other backgrounds. In fact, right now we have students coming from varied backgrounds, right? From commerce, arts, biotechnology, engineering, everything. So those who are inclined to make their career in healthcare management, because healthcare is growing at a very, very high speed and there are very good opportunities which are coming up. So all of them are eligible. So maybe we will have a profile-based selection. In that we have a statement of purpose. So in that statement of purpose, you can mention that why you are showing some interest in doing MBA in healthcare management. And our course curriculum is developed in such a way that even though students are from non-healthcare background, we start right from the beginning. So we have some domain-specific subjects like epidemiology, etc. So even though you have no background in healthcare, you will come to know that what is the healthcare industry, what are the technical terms you have to understand, and what are the domain-specific knowledge. So we take care that they will have understanding by the end of the first trimester. They will be exactly on par with the other students who are coming from healthcare background.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Pramod, sir, there's a question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I have a 4-year work experience from India, number 1 bank, and NMAT score is 202. Should I apply and will my profile be considered for the same? That's the question.
If you have a 4-year experience and you have an NMAT score, which is about 200, I think you are qualified to apply. There's no issue why you should think otherwise. The point is that as far as the experience is concerned, generally we would give a 2 to 3 year experience person a better sort of chance, because we think that a 2 to 3 year experience is something which is the best suited. But there are people with 4 and 5 years of experience also as our students. So I don't see any reason. I mean, is there a reason why you are asking this question? I mean, do you think that you're not qualified or what is it? Is the person there?
No, sir, but since you've asked the question out, I think this is by Saurabh Gupta. Saurabh, if you have a follow-up question on that, please put it out there. Meanwhile, we'll take up our questions. Pramod, sir, there is, Pankaj, sir, let me direct it towards you. How diverse is the student body at KJ Somaiya?
How diverse is
the student body at KJ Somaiya? How diverse they want to be?
See, our institute is offering major in 5 different areas. So there are student bodies who are representing each area. In fact, for every area we have some association or clubs or something, and they are conducting different types of program, different types of activities, and there is a lot of interdisciplinary activity also. So you will have definitely good experience of wide variety, and in the process you will get to learn many things. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just add to Pramod, sir, you all wanted to add something?
Basically, there are a lot of committees, like it's from everything from movies to sports to serious things like consulting and so on and so forth. So generally, the students get divided into something like, if I'm not wrong, around 28 committees right now. Okay, and they take a very active part. So this is where they get some of their leadership skills and other things from, where they become members in the committees and all. So that's something which is, I think very few institutes have got such a wide range of activities which are there. Yeah.
Suvechha, unmute.
Yeah, sorry, I realized. Just adding to that, what also happens is that even those who are entering, they already come, I think, from a diverse background, because we've not kept that categorization that the discipline has to be specific. So, I mean, even people not just engineering, commerce, we even have from art, humanities. So that itself is the stepping stone of the diversity. And then, like all the faculty mentioned, further you are already going into other fields. So you get the chance of exploring the diversity also that exists in the university.
And not only academic diversity, if you look into our proportion of girls to boys, I think 30 to 40% of the students now are girls. So that is a very, very positive signal, right? And secondly, we have a mini India in the classroom. They come from various regions like Gujarat, Delhi, Rajasthan, Pashchim Bengal. So from every area, you will have some or the other student in the classroom. And that brings a very, very diverse kind of discussion within the classroom. So that is the beauty. The peer learning is very, very important in MBA program. We cover almost all the subjects through coverage of case studies. And in case studies, we are not learning only from the faculty, but we are learning from each other. And that is where that diversity becomes very, very important tool to understand any problem in a holistic manner. So diversity has a very, very important role in our strategic thinking also.
Right, thank you. The next question that I have is if some light can be thrown on the curriculum of sports management course specifically. So any faculty who's teaching sports management currently would like to take this up specifically? Pramod sir? Anything?
Unmute, Pramod, unmute.
I would like to, from what I know, I will just speak because I'm basically an operations guy. But sports management is different from playing sports. Okay, so here we have a focus on managing the sports activities. Now, this includes almost all of the MBA subjects which are there, everything from your marketing to there are specialized subjects like celebrity marketing and so on and so forth, to market research, to even operations, facilities management and so on. But the difference is that it has got a bend towards the sports side. So how do you manage it in the sporting area and all? And gradually the interest in this sort of a particular, MBA has been increasing because this passion for sports and sports management, I think that's the place it is to be. It's like a futuristic course which is there. It's not like a normal course which everyone does sort of. So that's what I would like to say.
Okay, just adding to what sir has said, generally to give you a more academic bent of the curriculum that is there, mostly first year we try to, I think the courses are aligned with similar to the other MBA, but with the bent of sports. So everything that you're learning, like sir said, if you're learning marketing, if you're learning finance, you will always learn the application in sports. That is what the idea is. Excuse me. All right. We have some more questions pouring in. Okay. So Saurav's doubt was mainly with respect to cutoff score in math. And Saurav, that I will answer that since the cutoff score anyway has not been announced, we are not in a position to tell you whether you'll qualify or not. But yes, please go ahead, because you can check the cutoff scores of last year so that you get a tentative idea of where the cutoff score turned out to be. And if you have any such doubts, you can route it to the admission committee. So they can help you out further with doubts of that. Okay. Is there any international exposure at KJ Somaiya? Professor Trivedi?
Yeah, certainly we have, MOUs and tie-up with several universities of Europe, then a couple of universities in US, and the students are regularly going there for student exchange program. Not only that, we are also having a faculty exchange program. The faculty from those university comes here, take course. Our faculty goes there and they also teach there. And as far as the students are concerned, many of the students are completing, I think, one trimester, if I'm not wrong. My colleagues can add. And there is all facilities like credit transfer, whatever credit that you have earned that can be transferred here, and you will be able to participate in international student exchange program. Yeah.
So the advantage here is that you do not have to pay any tuition fees.
Yeah, that is.
So that is taken care of. So the students who are willing to go for international immersion program, they have to bear the travel cost and stay cost.
Yeah, correct.
But tuition fee is bear by the organizations because we have MOUs or tie-up with them, and the credits are transferred. So they do not have to appear again for exams in our credit programs or our subject courses.
Okay. Professor Shetty, there's a question on placement asking about whether, is there any place where we can find placement statistics? Professor Trivedi or Shetty? KJ Somaiya placement statistics. They are like, can be located somewhere. Anywhere.
I think it should be on the website, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think we are all have the same information.
Yeah.
So I think placement report has been uploaded, the latest, and they keep updating that detail. So the basic information should definitely be there. That should be there. So yes, sir.
The highest CTC was something around 26.5 lakhs, if I'm not wrong. And maybe the first top 100 or something averaged around 15.5 lakhs. That's what I remember. So you can find all these statistics on the website.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Professor Trivedi, do we give out any scholarships? There's a question being asked. Any scholarships?
We have highly structured scholarship program, and scholarship is generously given depending on the satisfaction of the criteria that is laid down, and even the details about what criteria and what the amount you can get, what is the process, everything you can get, I think, from the admission committee. There is a person in admission committee. They can give this all detail. But certainly we have scholarship program.
Right. Thank you, sir. There was a doubt. Okay, I think I'm going to revert back to Saurabh's question. His main issue was that last year I think the cutoff was 235 and more. However, he's highlighted that he wished to change his role to consulting and learn new idea. Since the cutoff is anyway not in our hand, but I'd like to ask the faculty to throw light on, is it a good idea that if you're looking to change your role, basically going into consulting and looking for new ideas, is MBA what you would like? Is that a good option?
He wants to go into consulting, he or she.
Yeah. He's trying to change into consulting and come up with a new idea of subject and stuff.
So his original background, has he written about that?
No. So he is the one who has 4 years work ex already, but wants to shift into consulting.
So basically, I think, when people come here, there are a lot of companies, consulting companies, which come everything from EV to a GP and, KPMG and so on and so forth. Most of the placements are generally in the interface areas which are there, especially, when sir was talking earlier about IT being in every field. So it's a combination of this which has got a wide range of placement things which are there. If he wants to change to consulting, there's no reason why he cannot get into consulting after his MBA. I mean, people look at a background, but then that's why I asked his background. So generally, there are people who jump from IT into consulting. There are even traditional mechanical engineers who jump into consulting and so on and so forth. And finance and other things are always, it's a wide field with the BFSI industry. So I don't foresee any problem. I mean, why is he having this doubt? That's.
Can I add something here?
yes.
See, institute will give you.
So, before you continue, best for you because he's a banker trying to go into consult.
I see.
Yes.
So institute
Yes, please.
give him all the opportunities to sharpen his skill and to learn the discipline which will help him to get into the consultancy. But ultimately, of course, it all depends upon how well he is able to present before the consultancy company when they come for the placement.
Suvechha, I'd like to also add that sir is a past banker, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I said he's from finance, so he'll
Yeah.
probably be able to answer this best. So yeah. All right. So one question again to you. That's Professor Trivedi. So anyone with a non-finance background, okay, what are the chances if they want to get into MBA finance, especially somebody coming from technology or engineering background and are looking into stock markets and so what they want to study? Will they also get good placements in finance? Like, how does the transition happen in MBA is what they're looking at?
Certainly, the people with the technology background or from the science background, they did not fear at all. They will be able to perform equally well like the student who has a commerce and management background. Because of the two reasons, students who are coming from engineering particularly, the two most important strengths that they have is one is they are more logical in thinking. I do not mean to say that others are illogical. Don't understand like that. But logical, that is one. And number two, their quantitative techniques are very strong. So these two are the most important qualities that is required to specialize in finance and to make the career in finance. And I would also like to add at the end, Dr. Subbarao, I'm sure you must be knowing, Dr. Subbarao was earlier Governor of Reserve Bank of India and Raghuram Rajan was also Governor of Reserve Bank of India. They both, like this, I can give you another half a dozen example, but this is not the forum to say all these things. But all these people, they are basically engineers and they are able to reach the top position of central bank of the country. So don't worry, you will to perform better.
Perfect, sir. Thank you so much. We have one question. How is internship being decided at campus for summer internship?
Question to me?
What? Yeah.
What is it? Please repeat.
How is internship being decided at campus for summer internship?
Okay. See, here we have our placement cell, placement department. So they contact different companies and they find out which companies are in need of intern in the students, and depending on the interest of the student, they try to put them into that company. But it may not be possible always. Let me tell you very frankly. Suppose you are planning to specialize in finance and you want to do internship in a finance company. We try our best, but it may not be possible sometime. The purpose of internship is not to get the domain knowledge, let me tell you. The purpose of internship is to get the exposure of the corporate world, how the company works, what type of environment is there, how you will, work with your senior, how you will work with your peers. So those who have work experience, for them, they know it. But particularly those students who are fresher, they get opportunity to learn all these things. So don't think like that I am not able to get the internship in my area of specialization or something. And last thing, suppose you got internship in marketing area, but you want to specialize in finance or vice versa, then also it is not going to affect your final placement at all.
So just to add one more thing,
Please.
in case of MBA Healthcare Management and MBA Sports Management, we provide summer internship only in the relevant fields. So even though our final placement is under umbrella, so they may get placed in any other area, but summer internship is only in the healthcare management or healthcare organization, and for sports management students, it is only in sport related organization. That we try to see that the students get the exposure in their relevant fields.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there's another question that can you basically speak a little about the profile of the visiting faculties that we get to interact with on campus, Prema ma'am?
Yeah, so we have we consider visiting faculty to be a very, very important resource or important asset in fact, because these are the people who bring the industry experience right into the classroom. They bring domain specific expertise, which many of us may not have, and they bring what are the relevant and current practices in the organization. So for all these aspects, we have given a lot of importance to them. Specifically, if I talk about healthcare management program, around 45 to 50% of the faculty is visiting faculty. So they are from very, very reputed organizations. They are from hospitals. They are from digital healthcare. They are from consultancy organizations, biotech companies. And that is where the domain experience is coming into the classroom. And we gave them a lot of support. And our students also enjoy the interaction with the visiting faculty. They get to know what is happening, current practices, and at the same time, the visiting faculty also act as a mentor for their concurrent projects, live projects, for their master thesis. So that works out very beautifully for both of us, both the parties.
May I add something, Suvechha?
Yes, Pramod.
Yeah. So basically what is happening is there are a lot of people from, across various industries. I'll just give you some names of the industries that are there. There's a vice president of NOSIL who comes here. There's an ex-CEO of Godfrey Phillips who comes here. There is an ex-banker who comes here. I'm just telling you offhand what I remember, okay? I mean, there's an ex-DGM of L&T who comes here. There's an ex-TCS guy who comes here, who's the CIO. Now, these are the profile on the levels of people who come. So we have this habit that in a course, we generally invite people from outside industry for at least 1 3-hour lecture. That's out of a 30-hour course. That's a sort of almost a compulsory or a given thing. And in addition to that, there are other courses which are fully taken up by these people. So you can imagine the depth of that. Yeah.
All right, thank you. I think we just have, we'll just take one last question right now, which is basically, I'm directing it to all three faculties. Please give your own opinion. How are they supposed to prepare and handle a CA and a PI round?
Should I start?
Yes, sir, please.
Preparation of CA and PI, to my mind, is not a one-day job. It's a long process. So there is no any shortcut or there is no any formula. Right from your school level, you should develop habit of reading newspaper, keeping you up to date, listening to the people, attending lecture, how they are arguing, how they are putting up their point, how they are analyzing. So this is not an overnight process. It's a long process. So particularly reading is very important. So whatever time that you have with you now, and if you are thinking that now I will start preparing for that, so you start reading, because there is no any fixed guideline that question can be from this field, that field, etc. See, of course, the interviewer will try to restrict himself or herself to that particular domain which you know. But even then, certain other things you should be aware of. So that is my answer. Sir.
Yeah. See, basically the GK part and all is something which is taken for granted and, people should know. But the other thing is that what you have done in your life, I mean, generally, what is it that you have achieved, and maybe there might be some difficult situations which you have come across in past. So how is it that so that gives an impression that you're a person who sort of handles troubles. I mean, that's what an MBA should do. You're good at troubleshooting. The other part is that if you have got some experience, okay, or let's say you do some certification in certain things which shows that you have a little knowledge of that particular thing. So I think that would add to what this is. But over and above that, I think what people miss the most is that they forget that the attitude of a person, and let's say even the etiquette and all which see the first impression generally sort of give you a buy-in whenever you go in. So I think that's something which people generally tend to neglect. And the other portion is like, are you sharp in the sense that do you walk with your eyes and ears open? So that's something which makes an impression. I think that's my take on it. Yeah. Thanks.
So just to add to both of them that we have been a part of this process for so many years. So it takes only few minutes for us to find out whether this answer is mugged up or given by somebody else or this is a genuine answer. So we are also looking out for some genuine approach, genuine answers, the learnability, ability to learn quickly, ability to grow up, have a positive mindset. Because many times what happens that students have let's say well prepared for some of the questions like what is the latest book you have read, so they start giving the answer and immediately we can find out he has not read the book per se but he knows about the book, he has read a Google summary of the book. So there is no need to do all these things. If you are not read this particular book, you can always tell us genuinely that no ma'am, last 2 months we have not read anything, or if you don't know something behind the particular current problem, how authentically, genuinely you approach that, that is also very, very important. We are not thinking out or we are not looking out for a candidate who knows everything under the sun. Correct? So that is not the idea. We know that you are coming here to learn, but whether you have the right kind of aptitude or not, that is something we are definitely testing when you are coming for interview and see.
Okay, so adding to what all the faculty have said, I think we're just looking for people who are true to themselves, frankly speaking. Because, that is something that even in your career, it's going to take you really, really far. It totally defines you, who you are, right at the first beginning. Like ma'am said, within 5 minutes of y'all talking to us, we know, we've probably done a profiling of, okay, fine, this person is genuine or not, all right? So the whole debate of hard worker or street smart, we need both. There is no only this or that. You need to know the balance. And if just do that much, that if you say that this is your subject of interest, we expect you to know about that subject. We don't expect you to know about all the subjects, but if you've said, yes, I have interest in this, how did you get that interest? You would have either read up or you'd like something about it, right? So it's impossible that you have interest, but you're not able to answer in that particular subject. So that's when we start being like, okay, not a genuine person. And we also know when you're throwing ready jargons to us, okay, especially in the interview, that is I think the first thing everybody knows that, okay, this person, isko sikhaya gaya hai ki ye bolna hai. Okay, this is something that everyone knows. So you'll need to do this. That's how it is. So I think that was great interacting with all the panelists and aspirants. Thank you for your participation. Thanks for all the questions. I think we can close the session here today. Thank you to all the participants.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the best to all the